So, again, 2 times today I heard, "Oh, yeah, I wanna do a webinar, but I don't really know where to start, so I wanna have part 2." If you didn't see part 1 from last week, last Tuesday at 12:30, I can put the link in the, chat here or in the comments here so you can see it. I'm gonna dig into part 2 right now. So part 2, I want to give you more on what you can do to have your next webinar or online event, that kind of thing. All right, so the first thing, uh, is know what your ideal outcome is. So if you're going to do a webinar, online event, presentation, whatever it is, what's your ideal outcome? Is it that they call you, jump on a demo with you, do a trial, whatever the thing is, right? That's what you're going to want to just make note of. Be sure that you know what you're hoping that next step is. So if somebody jumps onto your webinar, event, seminar, whatever it is, what are you hoping that they do next? If everything's a fit, if what you have to offer benefits them and you guys are a good fit to work together, what does that look like? So, note your ideal outcome. So, that's the first thing for today to make note of because that's going to really inform everything you do. Secondly, I'm going to give you 4 things today. Secondly, during the webinar, event, presentation, think about using what we love to call the sandwich style. And Fallon and I, we show this to our clients all the time. And you'll if you've worked with me, you already know this. So sandwich style means you've got 2 people on there. So bring a friend. So much better if it's a conversation and you're not doing what I'm doing now, talking to the camera. If you can be talking with someone else, whether they're actually in the room with you or if they're in another location, all good. Conversation is super fun for people, and can be, especially if it's your first few times doing it, can be so much easier than just talking to the lens, which can be kind of weird sometimes, right? So give me a hello, let me know you're here because just talking to the lens can be kind of crazy, talking to the camera. So, hey, Fallon, how are you? Hey, Bob. Oh, can't wait to see your event tomorrow. Glad you're here. Hi, Chris. How's it going? Okay, so sandwich style. What I mean by that is person one says, "Hey, I was talking with someone the other day and they told me they had this problem. They don't know how to do a webinar or they need help with this or whatever the thing is. I know you're totally expert on that. Please tell me about it." So now person 2, the other person, "So glad you brought that up. Here's the info on that." Give the first point, give the first idea, the first thing that you want to talk about. And then person 1 summarizes that. "Okay, so it sounds like when you were doing a webinar, when you're learning this technology, when you want to be healthier, whatever the thing is, one of the things to do is this." So person one's going to tee it up. Person two is going to talk about it, be the expert, give a solid, actionable piece of info, or maybe a behind the scenes look at somebody else, how they're doing it, whatever the thing is. Person one summarizes it. So that's why we call it the sandwich method. It works great, super easy. Everybody can remember it. And it helps your viewers, the people participating, the people there, to kind of have a format. Okay, we know that they just talked about point one. And then it kind of helps the audience, the attendees, the participants know what's happening. So that is a really great tool to use. So that's the second thing I wanted to give you. Here's another one. So this is golden. We generally have a rule going during a webinar, seminar, live event called the chat master. And so we have someone on our team on the webinar with our clients, um, just engaging with people. "Hey, welcome. Nice to see you. Here's a link. Hey, the presenter just talked about this. Here's a link to go get that. If you want more, let me know. We'll book an appointment with you. If you want this special freebie resource, let me know." And so we've got the chat going with, kind of running in parallel with the event because so many people, so many of us are used to doing a couple things at once. So, mixed reviews on that, multitasking and all that. I get it. That said, people are used to being on a webinar and maybe seeing a little chat message pop up and engaging that way. And it gives a personal touch, right? I was on this webinar and I was chat mastering for our client. And one of the attendees comes in to say, "Oh, sorry, I have to leave and go pick up my child because this happened, that happened." And what that told me is even though this was, in this case, a super technical presentation, this person's an engineer and they're like totally involved, that they felt like that connection with me as the chat person, because I'd been welcoming them and chatting with them. Hey, I need to go, but I am interested in this. Can you follow up? Awesome. Like that's what you want, right? You want that engagement. All right. And the fourth and final thing, I'm looking down because I've got a chapter in my book, 7 Marketing Basics, all about how to do webinar, and I've got a course on how to do it too, where I just lay out all of our templates, everything. So if you want to know more about that, let me know because it's all prepped and you can just take what we're doing and use it for yourself. But anyway, that's why I was looking down because I got a page from my book right here. So the fourth one I wanted to share with you today is, man, this is going to seem Captain Obvious, but I'm telling you, it's the thing. Have a follow-up plan. Does not need to be tricky, complicated, nothing. Just have a plan. So if the plan is we're going to gather up all the questions that we didn't get to, and actually the ones that we did get to, make a summary and send it out to people. And then on the following week, we're going to send, I don't know, this other free resource and also the video replay. And then I'm going to call every single person who showed up, whatever the plan is. It could be like that. But have a plan. And if you can have some of it pre built before the webinar, seminar, live event, that's super cool because you can have it pre built and ready to roll instantly right after the event. Or if you don't want to do it before, but just sort of have sketched out the next steps that you're going to do. And that kind of ties into the first thing we talked about is what's the ideal outcome. So we want to make that super easy in the follow up. Hey, if you want to take this next step, here's the link or reply back or whatever the thing is. So for today, the 4 I had for you for doing your next webinar or seminar, making sure it's totally successful, is knowing what your ideal outcome is, deciding on what style you're going to use. And we talked about the sandwich method. And then having a chat master, that's kind of gold and amazing. And then having a follow up plan. So, those are the 4 things I want to give to you today. Lovely to see you. Talk soon.